All right, fifth graders, let's take a look at question 4. Every part of question 4 took some information from previous ones, so we're going to just start and work our way through them. And I'm not going to show you so much on the math to do it, but I'm going to talk about the questions themselves, and I'll redirect you to some videos that may help you with the math if you're still struggling with that. So let's look at the question. Dr. Mann mixed 10.357 grams of chemical A, 12.062 grams of chemical B, and 7.506 grams of chemical C to make 5 doses of medicine. It said about how much medicine did he make in grams? Estimate the amount of each chemical by rounding to the nearest tenth of the gram before finding the sum. So what this means, fifth graders, a lot of you just added and then rounded. But what they're saying is they want you to take chemical A, which is 10 and 357 thousandths of a gram, and they would like you to say, well, that is about how many tenths. So you'd have however much in front, and then you'd have one place value behind it. You're going to do the same thing for chemical B and the same thing for chemical C. Once you have those three amounts all rounded to the tenth, you are going to find the sum, that is, add them together. Okay, so a lot of you rounded on you rounded your answer, you rounded one thing, but you do need to round each of these three numbers first and then add them together. If you're having trouble rounding to the nearest tenth, you may want to go back and look at my rounding video from the mid-module assessment. Let's take a look at question B. So question B says, find the actual amount of medicine mixed by Dr. Mann. What's the difference between your estimate and the actual amount? So now we'd go back to these three amounts, the chemical A and the chemical B and the chemical C, and we would actually find the amount. So if we're finding the actual amount, we're going to take those three amounts from question A, here, here, and here, and we're going to add those together. Now, our sum over here is our estimated amount, and the sum we'd get from adding these three up here together would be the exact amount. Question B asks us to find the difference. Difference is the name we give to the answer when we subtract. So you're going to take question 4A, your answer for that, and you're going to take question 4B, and you are going to subtract them to find the difference between those two. Let's take a look at question C. It says, how many grams are in one dose of medicine? Explain your strategy for solving this problem. So we have an actual amount here, we have an estimated amount here, but either way, it's telling us that there are 5 doses of medicine. So we're going to have to split something up between 5 doses of medicine, and we're going to have to decide what was our strategy for solving that problem. Does it make sense to use the estimate and split it up, or does it make more sense to use the exact amount and split it up? Then question D says, round the weight of one dose to the nearest gram. This implies that we're going to have a number that might be in like the ones place, and we might have some numbers in the thousands place. Note, this is not your actual answer. Not actual answer. I'm going to leave it with not actual, just to remind you. But when they say round to the nearest gram, if we would read this as 1 and 111 thousandths of a gram. So what they're actually telling us to do is they're taking that answer from problem C, that's the amount of dose, the dose in one dose of medicine, how many grams, and then we're going to round it to the nearest gram, or the nearest ones place. All right, I think there was a lot of confusion on what these questions were actually asking us to answer, so hopefully going back and taking those apart. I'm also going to put in the video the links to the rounding videos I used in our mid-module test corrections, and if you're having trouble with the actual rounding, watching those videos again may help you. Good luck!